past was actually red news and really moved the market. And it did the same thing this morning. Whereas though it's an orange folder, it did move the market.
You found that it did move the market this morning?
Yeah. So like if on Forex Factory, I'll just mark it. Mm-hmm. If it ever for some reason would move the market, and just to give me a heads up in the future that this might be something I should watch. But mm-hmm. Yeah, that was what was said to have moved the market this morning.
Because it did drop from what they were forecasting, so that probably had a negative impact.
Yeah, the negative means the dollar's going down, so the NAS should go up. And I think we had the opposite going on.
Yeah. So looking at the U.S. dollar, we've been coming down, and we're in a bit of a downward mode at this moment in time. Certainly, and overall, the U.S. dollar is down currently. Okay, so looking at the NAS, quite the run currently to the upside. We had quite the moves to the downside previous to this run, the upside. So we've been going down most of the time this morning since the open was over here at 9:30. 9:30 is here. So we've been down all morning, and then we're getting quite the turnaround and pushing back to the upside. Currently.
Where you have your fibs, that's the low of actually it's a low of at least 5 days, and that's let's call it the low because our numbers are different as well.
Yes. Okay, so let me. Okay, so you posted in the room. I posted a couple of charts in the room, and for whatever reason, I can see them on my iPad, but I couldn't see them when I got on my desktop here. It's just super weird, but that's the way it is.
I think I was able to see them.
Sorry?
I think I was able to see them.
Yeah, everybody can see them. I couldn't see them, so George had to repost them for me. So I don't know if there's 4 of them there now. Is there 4 of them now?
Let me check. I see 2.
Okay, yeah. I didn't see anything there at all, so George just reposted them for me. Okay, so what I wanted to just show was, and my title for this was why and when to buy, and I guess I could have put /sell as well, but I just wanted to kind of. George was mentioning to me that it seems like I'm kind of going off the 1, 2, 3, just doing a lot of scalping and so forth, and not really hitting the mark with the 1, 2, 3 with everyone. And we got everybody all over the map, looking at this and that and this and that and so forth. But I just kind of wanted to. And it's interesting because I posted this, and then I saw George's note about that. So I wanted to kind of hone in on what I'm looking for primarily when I'm trying to get into a trade, and what the 1, 2, 3 is for me as a setup. And with this one, it's just a beauty setup, and the whole premise of the setup is that we've been coming down from the 9:30 open, and we come into a 4th wave here. At this point, this is all tradable. Once you understand that 4th wave and you can clearly see it, you're going to get a 1, 2, 3 at this point. You can drop down, come down into the low. This is the sweep of that fourth wave, or the third wave, I should say, at this point. This is the sweep of that third wave. This is our fourth wave at this point. And so this is what we're looking for. This is the structure, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move. I keep repeating this over and over, but this is what it's all about. And at this point, we catch a low, and then we're looking for a move back up, and then this move. So this is where this occurs, and a breach of a previous high, and in this case it's this previous high right here, it's a fractal high. So a breach of a high where we close above it. So I kind of want to, what I would love to do and like to do is to, I mean, I've gone over this so many times. However, you know, if I do a step by step of exactly what, you know, number 2 and number, you know, what you should be looking for, what constitutes a great setup, and why you would take the trade, why you would buy at this point, you have to have all, you know, at least 3 of these checked in order to get that buy or sell at this point, right? So, and one of them would be, we need a sweep of our number 3 point. The drop down, that's the sweep right there. Then we need a sweep of a previous high, so that would be like the number 1 and number 2. A retrace, the retrace would be here. Retrace back into, you know, 50 to 62% of this move, and then a fractal, you know, number 4. And your entry you would take your entry at that point and looking to go to your target. I always like 1.618, but 1.618 is just a you know, a fib, and there's a 1.414 as well, and above that there is 2.00. So it's an area. It's not just exact points. So you can go exact points, or you can go into the area. Price gets into this area of 1.414, you can look to be taking profits off. So that's the gist of what constitutes a 1, 2, 3 setup. And there's a couple other things, of course, that I didn't mention in here, and those are, you have order blocks.
Welcome to Roger's wireless voicemail. Please enter your password.
Those are quite important as well. If you can get an order block, or if you can, in this case, price came right to this order block.
You have 3 saved wireless voice messages.
Somebody's got.
First saved message.
Somebody's on their phone.
Good morning. This is Leandrian from Schoolbox calling.
Okay. Yeah, so those are the things that really make a proper 1, 2, 3 look really, you know, delicious to jump into and buy. So that's what I'm going to put it all together, and I think, you know, I think you're correct, George. We've been all over the place. We're talking Heikin-Ashi, we're talking CCI, and all this kind of stuff, and you know, the simple of it is just what I'm showing here. But I know there's a lot of different ways to skin the cat, definitely. But sticking to the basics really works quite well. So the second screenshot is the target, and there's I'm at I'm just a little bit above 1.414. I didn't put the fib on before I put my target. I put my target based on a previous high over here. So that's what I was using for my target, but it happened to come into the 1.414, just a little above 1.4414. 1.618 is right about there. So that's where my target was set, and that was hit based on that move. So it's all just precision, perfection setup, here. And that's kind of, if you can find this in your trading, if you can find that in your charts, and this is just a 1 minute time frame, you can do this on the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the hourly. That's what you're looking for. This is the setup. This is a bread and butter setup. So
I can show you the 1, 2, 3 that took me into my trade, Lennox.
Yeah, and Peter wanted to showcase his trades on Tesla this morning, and go ahead, Peter. You can showcase that.
Okay, yeah, thanks for the time. Let me just get to sharing my screen.
Lennox, when you get back on, I wanted to show you something. For some reason, I got muted and I couldn't interrupt you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You see it now?
There we go. There we go. Now it's it.
Okay, so going into this morning's trade, I drew this Tom DeMark demand or support trend line here before price action started today. So that would be right about here. And going into today's session, we had back-to-back 1, 2, 3s. So what I was looking for was a break of this trend line, and we got it at the open for Tesla this morning. 1, 2, 3, and then down she went. Now, I believe I got in after this 1, 2, 3 here, and I got out about down here about 315 and took my profit of $1,500. Now I could have held on longer, but I had to take my car in for service. I had to be there at 8 o'clock, so I decided to get out of my trade here around 315 and take my profit of $1,500. You can see that price continued on down. Now I want to show you a trick that I learned from George, which is really exciting, very effective. So I'm going to see if I can get back to my chart here, and here we are. So George's idea, so this is where I went short in here this morning, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all the way down. This is about where I got in, and I got out about 315. And now if I follow George's idea and switch to the 15-minute Fibonacci, you can see that I could have held on longer. So let me just draw a line above the 15-minute Fibonacci candles like that. If I had been able to stay at my screen longer, I would have held the trade longer from 315 all the way down to the bottom and made another $1,500. But that's fine. $1,500 is okay. So then price went into wave 4. That's where we are now. It's a very dangerous area to trade. I've delineated wave 4 with the horizontal line above and below wave 4. And let's look at it a little bit more closely on the 5-minute chart. There's wave 4, very dangerous, very difficult. Armin seems to have good luck trading wave 4. I don't. But just to show you that I'm not a genius, yesterday I caught the run down, a similar run down at price. I made $1,000, and then I thought I'd grab some more money at the bottom, and I went short again just as price went into wave 4. And then what happened yesterday was price went up, way up, and then down like this. I rode it all the way up and all the way down. So I lost $3,000 and made $3,000. So yesterday I made nothing. So the moral to the story is that if you see price dramatically falling like this, and you reach an inflection point to get out of that trade, get out and stay out, because once at the end of a long run down like this, you're going to invariably run into wave 4. And so this would have been a better point for me to get out to make another $1,500, but like I say, I had to leave it to get my car in at 8 o'clock. So I don't know if that is instructive. I find that go to the 1 minute chart. I find that I'm constantly drawing trend lines, Tom DeMark trend lines, because they help me get my head around where price is going. Okay. And right now you can see in wave 4, I've drawn these trend lines. That's a Tom DeMark resistance or supplier distribution line, a Tom DeMark demand line. And it just reminds me that, yeah, we are in wave 4. And I'm not going to do any more trading today because, as I've said before, once I take my profit, I generally like to get out of the market and stay out because the market has a bad habit of wanting its money back. So with my $1,500 profit today, I'm happy to just call it quits for the day. That said, we are in wave 4. And what if I were interested in making another trade, what I would be looking for would be for price to convincingly break below wave 4 to go short again. So we will eventually go down again, because this is leg 1 of a downtrend continuation pattern. So leg 1 down, price equilibrium or consolidation, and then leg 2 down. Leg 2 is usually the same distance as leg 1. So at some point today, presumably, price will break below the bottom horizontal line delineating wave 4. It'll break down. What I'd like to see, if I were interested in trading again, would be for price to break below this line here, form go down, come back and test that line, form a 1, 2, 3 top, and then boom, down she'll go. That'll happen, I think, sometime today. But I'm not gonna trade it because, like I say, I'm sitting on my hands for the rest of the day and enjoying Lennox's and George's presentation. So again, the 15-minute Heikinatchi candles are very effective. I wish I'd been able to stay at my computer because I got out right about here 3:15 or so, and I wish I had just held on to the trade all the way down to the bottom, made another $1,500. So these are the Heikinatchi candles on the 15-minute chart for Tesla. This is where I went short this morning, right here on a break of this trend line that I drew this trend line before the session opened today because I was looking for a break of this trend line today, and of course we got it right in here. So on that note, Lennox, that's about all I've got.
All right, thanks, Peter. And yes, tomorrow is another day. The one thing I must say, and great trading there, Peter, it's awesome, is that statement that if you make profits today on a trade, you stop for the day and come back tomorrow. I would say to that, that's great. However, tomorrow you can lose as well as if you trade it again today. So, it's just the game, right?
Yeah, point well taken. I 2 days ago, I made $1,000 on the run down, and then price broke above this trend line, went up and formed a 1, 2, 3 top and went down. I did take that trade, so that was the second trade for the day. I made another $300. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. There's nothing wrong with your logic.
Nor is there anything wrong with your logic. So it's just It's just the nature of the game. You can take a day off and no problem, but you know, you can win tomorrow, you can lose tomorrow. It doesn't really matter, you know, which way you look at it, right?
Yeah,
Certainly you need to stick to something that works for yourself, and that's the key to it.
Yeah, if I saw price break below the bottom horizontal line of wave 4 and I saw 1, 2, 3 top, I might be encouraged to take a short trade, but right now I'm comfortable just sitting on my hands and enjoying your presentation.
Yeah, you're in a good position because you've made profits, so now you can be a lot more choosy and and patient. That's the key to it.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. All right. So I don't know if there's anybody have any questions for Peter there.
Lennox.
Yes, George. Go ahead.
I want to go back to your first drawing.
Okay.
I don't know if that's.
You want me to bring it up, or do you want to bring it up? Do you want to bring it up, or do you want me to bring it up?
Oh no! Could you bring? Oh, okay. No, I'd like you to bring it up because you can mark up your chart.
Okay.
And I can't. The very first one. The first one that had me put in the chat for you.
Okay, this is this one.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering if it was properly received by everybody. Your point number 3 on going down was the actual target of point number 2 of our 1, 2, 3, and it was at the red candle breaking the change of the character of that one red candle.
Yes.
No, going back, going down to the bottom, 1, 2, third candle, a red candle up to the left, third candle to the left. The top of that broke. Yes, that's the one that is the change of character.
Yes.
And that's an extremely important element because you can come down off of multiple 1, 2, 3 step stairs, and if it doesn't break the character, get a change of character, you may not be in a legitimate 1, 2, 3 turnaround situation.
That's true.
And that was the important element that it was. I think it was your item number 3 that you posted on the check marks.
Yeah, because I want a sweep, and I want a low, and then I want a sweep again.
Right.
And the key here is you need a close above.
Yes.
You need to have a close, and if you don't get a close, then
It's
again, this is suspect because price could come down and take out this low again.
Exactly.
So,
and I think that's a very important key.
Yes, a closure above that previous fractal high. So that was, everything was in line. I had a check mark. I had a low. I had 5 waves down from this fourth wave. I could see the fourth wave quite clearly. Nice 1, 2, 3. Everything was just in line. This retrace, I wanted it to come a little deeper because there was an inverted gap here. There was a gap here, but there was an order block as well. So it came to the order block and started to turn. So I jumped in right there because I realized that, okay, they're going to just use the order block in this case because they came up so quickly, and just a quick pullback to this order block, that was going to be enough. So I thought, okay, if I go in and they still drop it down, I can jump back in again with another, order. But they did not. So it was good to get in at that point. Otherwise, I would have missed the trade completely.
Yeah, that's the important point that I see, that I didn't know if everybody caught properly. The other thing is, because you have almost like a railroad tracks there, where quite often you get a fair value gap that is quite large. And that's an indication that the big boys have skipped over. They're trying to move things higher, faster, and that you would get in place of that order block that you're seeing right there.
Yeah, this is it's so precise. It's just the low of this is the open of this candle.
Yeah,
It's just amazing how the precision of it is
With
incredible.
Wise, you can spend.
And that, that's one of the things ICT is always talking about, how precise everything is. And this is one of those times where precision is perfect. So yeah, and then putting the fibs on to go to your targets up here. That's it. You're done.
and if you happen to have a fair value gap that's rather wide in that area, you can expect it either to penetrate it and can go down as far. It usually goes down up to 50% of the large fair value gap you could get in, but you have to be prepared because it can turn around anywhere in there. But those are the elements that I think are quite crucial to getting a high probability setup trade. That's
So
all.
I'll keep pounding that. I mean, during the sessions, I'm always jumping in and out and so forth, but it's the same thing that I'm looking for each time. I'm always looking for a 1, 2, 3, and I'm always trying to find a sweep prior to that 1, 2, 3 to give me that impetus to want to go in. And I want to see the sweep at the bottom and the sweep at the top, and then that 1, 2, 3 retrace back into the 50 to 62% area, and that's the whole thing. Now, prior to ICT, I never looked at sweeps. I didn't look at previous highs. I just looked at a low, a high, and a low, and that was it. That was the 1, 2, 3. But this has given us huge confluence and really helped. So now I see what they're doing overall in the 1, 2, 3 is that they're breaking the number 3 point. That's the sweep, and then we're getting a new 1, 2, 3. So that is the sweep. So if you can identify that, like and here again, there's one right there. That's that. As I'm speaking, you can see it. They sweep, and then they go up. So now you want to find a breach of the previous high. It could be that one or that one, and a retrace into a gap, ideally, and off you go. And you can take this trade all the way up. So that's the setup. And it's the same thing from the top. It's the sweep of the previous low and coming down, come back into a gap, and the drop is the same thing. And you want to see sweep on the other side. So sweep this way, drop back in.
You might want to comment on the current movement that we have, where we have two fair value gaps, and where would you get into the trade, or would you be holding off for the better entry?
Well, this one we've kind of missed the train here, the boat. So in this case, because I had a 1, 2, 3 here, I would have been looking for another drop here. So let's see if S&P has given us divergence at this point. No, it hasn't. So there was no divergence here. Neither of them gave us a fifth wave. So that's what I would have expected, another drop, because I have a 1, 2, 3 top. So anytime I see a 1, 2, 3 top, I'm always expecting a fifth wave. So that would have been beautiful had it done that. That would have been exceptional. However, if you don't see that, and you don't trade it and you miss it, that's fine. You're looking for this setup, and if you don't see it, you don't trade it. But if you see it, like over here, for instance, if you saw it, then great, you can take the trade. S&P is a little different here too. You see how they sweep, they come up, this sweep, and there's not much retrace on this one compared to the NAS. The NAS had a much deeper retrace, interestingly, but same kind of movement again. So yeah, I mean, they're always going to be making things a little difficult for you. They're not going to make it all look perfect. So for this one to get in, you could wait for closure above, and there we have a closure above. So now a retrace of this current move would be great in one of these gaps. So how can we know which one we're going to go back to? That's always the trick. So there's a couple of ways I kind of figure it out. From the high down to this low, I'm looking for, approximately 50%, or 38 to 50% is what I want from the number 3 point to the high. I want to come back around 38, and I put this to backwards, didn't I? Let me get rid of that. Let's turn it around this way. It's this way. So from the high, I want to come back 38 to 50%, ideally.
You want to be in the discount area.
Yeah, so if I can get that kind of movement, that would be great at that point. However, another way is using the seconds chart. In the seconds chart, I can see the pattern. If I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down, then I know that, okay, I'm coming to the end of the move, and I can take that. So that, again, if that's double confluence, if I can get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave pattern coming back down to 38 to 50%, then I can take a trade here to continue going up, because they're looking to take out the highs. So you can jump in at this area. It's not what we're looking for, the ideal setup that we're looking for at this point. However, it is still a 1, 2, 3 that we're looking for in here to go, and so it's part of that whole move. And you can catch it. So sometimes you see they don't even pull back very much, and they take off on you. Is that it? Is that it? They're coming. If once they close about here, this probably going to be gone, most likely. So that's okay. You don't even have to trade it. It's going to be heavy for you to carry.
Yeah, I know. And she drops me off. I'm going to run it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is too heavy.
Yeah. All right. Have fun. My wife is leaving me again. Okay, so yeah, so now I wouldn't really take a trade at this point. And you can look at it in terms of, okay, how far is price to the high? Is it worthwhile taking it? No, it's not really worthwhile taking a trade at that point, right?
Lennox.
Mm-hmm. Bitcoin.
Early this morning, I think I put some charts in the room. I was doing a top-down analysis. I had weekly and daily. I think I got down to a 15-minute chart. Finally, I think I had 3 charts in the room. But the overall trend on the NASDAQ appears to be down. And so that would give you some consideration if you're going for a longer term to be careful of trades going north or up.
Okay, well, I would say that the trend has been down, but now it seems to be making a little bit of a turn back to the upside. So let's look at it from the daily standpoint, and we take a good look.
I started at weekly, actually.
Okay, we can do that. We can start on the weekly. take a good look at where we are. So I've got it all marked out as 1, 2 from this point, and then we've been inside a fourth wave, and I'm looking for this to be for a 1, 2, 3 to get out of here. So we've had a 1, 2 here, another 1, 2, yet another 1, 2. So are we ready to go now? Perhaps. You know, it's I think it's very close. You can't see that clearly on the weekly, but if you go to daily, now it becomes a lot clearer. So there was our number 3 point, our number 4 point, and then we get this 1 and a 2, and I get another 1, 2, yet another 1, 2, and maybe this whole thing is a 1, 2 at this point. So we've got a change of character, break of structure, come back in, and I'm looking for this to start heading north and taking out these highs and going into new territory. So that's what I see overall. So now we're getting this big wick. So if we're going to be climbing back out, this is the candle, we're heading back to take out the daily high. So that's quite a ways up at this point. And this wick is telling us a big story that maybe we've hit bottom and we're not going to take out this low, which would be great because we don't really want to see this low being taken, because that would mess up our structure at this point. You know, if they took that low out, or this one, that would be not good for the structure. So right now everything is intact and looking pretty good. So this we could consider a sweep at this point here. They sweep all these lows, but they're leaving this one alone at this point. So there's a lot of big boys sitting here with dollars and orders. Now they've swept everybody up here, so there's no one selling from here, and there's only liquidity sitting up here now. So I think that's one of the keys as to where is the liquidity sitting, right? Where is the liquidity? If you can figure that out, then that really helps. So liquidity is here, liquidity is here. These are all the sellers, right? And liquidity all up here. Lots of liquidity sitting up here. So getting this wick now, I think, could be a sign that we're turning to get out of here. Of course, it's going to take a while. This is the daily time frame, but all right. So 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, looking at the 4 hour bars, let me get rid of some of this stuff off here. I am. So the previous 4 hour bar, high and low, and now we've opened right down in the middle of it. So we've got a small wick to the downside. We did go up to the upside, we've come back again, and so we've got one of those, dojis. We've got indecision. So we could go that way, we could go that way, we could stay flat. We only have 3 choices, remember? Right.
Doesn't that candle pattern denote continuation? In other words, that candle would suggest that we're going down, since it's a candle within a candle. I don't know.
It's a possible. We could go down, we could stay flat, we could go back up, because we've got quite the rejection on this wick. With this wick, we went all the way down, and now we're getting this big push back to the upside. But now we're kind of in limbo. We're right in the middle. So we've had quite the drop to the downside here, and for all intents and purposes, we could be done at this point. Possible, but we could also drop, take out the low, or stay in the middle, or continue up. So which one will it be? Right now, it's bullish on this candle, so we have to kind of go with the flow of the bullish. So going down to the hourly, you can see we're getting a nice push to the upside. Are we done? And like you're asking, are we done? It's possible, and it's possible to come back down as well. Yeah, it's a tough one at this point, but it looks pretty good. We could get a pullback, we could go again, we could just keep going, we could start going sideways. This is where we're stuck at this moment in time. So 30-minute time frame. So we have to see where we are. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can see that clearly on the 30. And now we've pushed up 1, 2, and breaking that previous high. So this is a change to take us up, out and up at this point. However, we know that sometimes this 1, 2 here can be a 3 at this point, and this could be a 4, and we could still come down and take out this low one more time. So it's a little iffy, but I'm liking the push to the upside right now. So I need to look at S&P just to see if it did the same thing, and it did. It's done the exact same thing. It's a lot stronger than the NAS actually at this point. So you can see the S&P is pushing up quite a bit more so than the NAS is. Okay, so on the 15, now we can come and hone in a little closer and see what's really going on. And yeah, I mean, we could come back, take out this low. We could even come down and take out this low again. Could we take this one out? Possibly, but they've swept this low. We've swept this high. We had a pullback, and we're going. It did close above, so it's saying that this low is strong. It's a strong low right now. Right? So we could continue pushing to the upside. So I'm not going to fight them. So there again there's the setup, the sweep, the closure above, the retrace, the move, and that's all you need. Every day, any time of day, any time frame. We're on the 5-minute. That's a nice play. So here it is again: sweep, closure above, drop back in. This is a buy on the 5-minute. See, that's the same pattern. What I just showed you here, this pattern is the same pattern right here. It's just on a smaller scale. So in here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's our break. That's our break. That's the move up. That's the retrace. That's the buy right in there. So if I drop down to the 1-minute, we can see it a lot clearer. So that's what they've done. And they came down, and it's very quick here. Wow, so quick. And big drop, sweep. They sweep again. They close above. They drop back into a gap. This is perfect.
Can you take a look at Bitcoin, sir?
Yeah.
With the recent lows, is it a buy and just wait till it reaches the highs?
Okay, let me just go over to Bitcoin.
Because I have it as in the weekly, I have it as a fourth wave, with it simply making a new low.
Okay, here's Bitcoin. So need to go higher. So 5-minute. Yeah, this is a fourth wave we're in, right? Totally, right? You can see that immediately on the 5-minute that we're in a fourth wave. It's a triangle. Got a 1, 2, 3 top and the drop, and then we're doing the chop, very choppy stuff. So this could be the 1, 2 that's going to take us down, possibly. So we've got an A, we've got it. It's not much of an A. We got an A, we got a B, we got a C, a D. Yeah, it's kind of messy in here. So they've done A, B, C, D, E again in here, and they do that sometimes to mess everybody up. Chop it up again. So this could be a 1, 2 to take us down. So that's what we're looking for. So we would be looking for, if this was the 1, 2 at this point, we'd be looking for the sweep, the closure below, retrace, entry.
So I'm looking at well, more so for like the larger time frames for Bitcoin, because it will be, if it is, so on the daily there's a lot of chop, but I have a 5-wave movement finishing to the downside, and then on the
hourly we're just stair stepping down, 4-hour big drop off the cliff here. daily. Certainly a big move down, yeah. So the question is, where are we going to, right? So at this point, yeah, you have to always ask, where are you going to? So there's a gap here, so that might be the first line of defense at that point, that we're going to that gap right there. Okay, so we're getting very close to that point. There's nothing else for them to go to except for that gap right now. I mean, there are a few lows here, and we're already taken those out, so we could fall further into this gap. So that would make sense on this relentless down that we've been in, right? So coming back down again. So if I go to the weekly, let's look at it from the weekly standpoint. So that makes sense on the weekly as well, because we have a 1-2 here, and we pushed up into this fourth wave, and very choppy, and we're getting this move back down. I'm looking for a bounce to continue to take out these highs and continue the push to the upside. If this is wrong, then we've hit the high already, and we're looking to come down, which would be very nasty. Don't want to see that, because we did take out the high here. So for all intents and purposes, that could be a fifth wave, and that was it. And then we're getting an A, B, C correction coming back down. That's a possibility. That could take us back down into this area. We don't really want to see that. I'd like to properly see a bounce here and continue this way, rather than a big drop down into 60,000 and so forth. So two scenarios there, right? But on the daily, yes, we are way down, 4 hour, way down, hourly, down, 30, down, 15. You can see on the 15, 1, 2, and we're in a fourth wave. So we're looking for another drop, just like Peter was showing on Tesla. Same kind of thing. We're looking for that rollover here to continue down. 5 minute, and now the 1 minute. So at this level, sweep, sweep, retrace, sell. Another one, also sell again. So these are all sells when you get the retraces back in. That's the 1 minute is great because you can get in earlier. If you go to the 5 minute, you're getting in later. Right? So you have to wait on the 5 minute. You have to wait for the break of that low, and then the retrace, and then. So we have a sweep there. There's a 1, 2. So we need a break of this guy as well, and another 1, 2, break of this guy as well. Give us another 1, 2. So that's a lot of waiting on the 5 minute. Whereas on the 1 minute, you could be in this trade already. You're sitting in a nice seat.
Can you take a look at the NVIDIA?
Sure. Okay, so here's NVIDIA. So you see what they did here. We had a nice 1, 2. We came up into this fourth wave, and they dropped it back, way back into our number 2 area, which says that we're not getting an impulse. We're just getting diagonal type of reaction here, because we've come back into this area whenever we come back in here. So coming back in here just says that there's not enough strength here, and that's why we had that news where the Chinese company, whatever, had better chips. But it's not stopping this stock, because this was an expected E-leg, just a lot deeper than, you know, I would have thought they would have come back. Yeah, I'm expecting it to come back to this area and bounce, but we got a 1-2 now, so I'd be expecting that bounce out of here.
So with the sweep, the structure sweep, I'm guessing the only real difference, whether it's the first wave that's a break of structure, and the third wave that's a break of structure, is momentum. Whereas in the first wave it shows good momentum, and whereas in the third wave just shows less momentum. Yeah,
you're talking about here.
No, the last one, the new high.
At this point.
Before that, no, left. Left
over here.
Yeah. But that went to the right. Well, yeah. So because you said before you're looking for a break of structure, but that was the first wave in the break of structure. So whereas this one is third wave break of structure, but I'm guessing it's just momentum, just kind of a census on how momentum's acting.
Yeah, it's different. It's different up here, because what we're looking for, you know, again, our structure is always like this. So when we get this 1-2 here, ideally what we want to see is a break of change of character over here. But there wasn't, I mean, you could say, yeah, that was it, or here, those two, either of those two, yes. You know, you would have wanted to see this being broken, but they didn't go up there, right? So this is the pullback on this one. So these two could be considered, and you got a closure above, and then we get the drop. So this is ideal for the play to the upside. When we get up here, and this is again another breach, so it's another breach and then another breach here. You know, this you have to look at, because we know that if we get a breach, we're going to get a pullback. So again, we didn't want it to come too deep, but they did come back in deep, and so that's fine. So they come back in deep, and there's a 1-2 in here as well. So we come back into that area there, and now we're getting that push back out. So we're looking again for you know, a change of character in here, and there wasn't really one. We didn't want to see them break this one. So it's going to be the same like here, where we didn't break the one that we really want to break as the high, which is, you know, here or over here, the previous high. You want to see them break that previous high. I could actually do that again. Take that off like this. You want to see that previous high being broken like that. That's the ideal, but in this case they didn't do it that way. They came short of it. Here they've gone again short of the previous high, you see. So I'm looking for that. That will be the ideal, but it's not always ideal, right? So this was definitely a fourth wave, dropping down into number 4 point, and now we're getting a nice 1-2. So on the daily, that's now you can see that is the breach. That's the previous high. So you'll be looking for price to go close above it, get a retrace back into it, whether it's right here or the whole move, and then a retrace back into the gap. That's beautiful. This is buying time for NVIDIA. Buy. This is telling everybody to buy. So they'd say all the smart money is buying right now. So this is the place you want to buy. And this retrace of this 50 to 62%, this is, then you come back into a gap. You've broken the previous high. This is money play right now. buy. This is, and it's cheap, right? Most people, most of the smart money were buying down here because, you know, 114, 112, 150, you know, this is the when to buy, and you could be selling off at 140. You buy at 112, you're selling at 140. I mean, that's the way to do it, right? So that's why I love the fractal, because the fractal is what I'm showing you. This whole thing I'm showing you is that fractal. It is the same thing. It's just fractals with multiple candles here. It's just a fractal with 3 candles here. There are only 3 candles that make this fractal, but here it's a fractal as well, but it's multiple candles that are making this move. It's the same pattern though. Like right here, it's the same thing. We get the sweep, and there's your fractal, and it's multiple candles making a fractal. Get that? Same thing. Breach of the high. Don't get a closure above. You'd like to see that, but even if you don't get a closure, you can take the trade, but you're taking a risk that maybe they could come back and take that lower. I'd like to see a closure ideally, but you don't always get it.
So should we start buying?
NVIDIA?
No. In general, should we start buying at the break of structure?
At here?
Yeah.
No, on the pullback. It's on the pullback. So we get this like this. So where you want to buy, we get the sweep. We get the sweep. We want to buy when we come back into some kind of a gap or something like that. Or 50 to 62% retrace, ideally. So if I put the fib on this move, for instance, we are at 50 to 62%. So this is beautiful. This is where you want to buy. So we're on a daily looking at this, and this daily candle. So in order to get into this play, you go down to the wick of the daily candle on the lower time frame, and you get into this trade. So if you mark off the wick, you just want to be getting in. When you see that wick, you drop down to the lower time frame, and you can get in on the wick. So I'll keep going down hourly, 30-minute, 15-minute. So you can get in on the 15-minute, and you see this is the same thing that's going on, right? We just move this over so it doesn't. Same kind of thing. Change of character, sweep, retrace, buy. That's on the 15, 5. Same thing. Sweep, move back up, breach, retrace, buy. You could wait for this one, but there's one here, so you don't have to wait for that one up there. You get that retrace back 50 to 62%. That's your buy. And we could do that all the way down to the 1 minute. If I go down to the 1 minute, that's at 10:30. $10:30 right there. You do it again. Sweep here, but they didn't break above. See that? But they gave us the retrace anyways, and then that's the buy. So sometimes you don't get it on the first 1, 2, 3 there, but you could say, okay, I'll skip that. I won't get in because I'm not sure. Because at this point, we could think, oh, maybe they're just doing this and they could drop it one more time. So yeah, you be cautious here, perhaps. But that's fine. You can catch it elsewhere if you missed it. maybe there's another opportunity, here or something like that to jump in. So you're just looking for that same pattern, looking for a breach of that previous high. Maybe this is not a great area to buy it either, but that's the kind of thing you have to kind of weigh it. And that would have worked out okay. And we caught it nicely. So on the 5-minute time frame, this is that whole move. So that would have been a great buy in here. That's the breach of the previous high. It's right there. That's a fractal. Or here, that's a fractal. And then you get a retrace back in, so you can buy here. But of course, placement of your stop is also very important, right?
And just the stop at the low.
Yeah, I mean, George always puts his stop at the number 1 point, and that's great. As soon as you start moving, like, let's find a nice 1, 2, 3 here that we get in. So suppose we said, okay, we see this, we get the sweep, we get a change of character, but we decide we're going to go in because we got a pull back into 50 to 62%, even without the sweep on this end yet, and we decide to go in. As soon as price breaks above here and closes above, you can move your stop from here and put it under here. Lessen your loss. I mean, you've gotten in down here anyways, so you want to bring your stop in maybe right to break even. As George, I think George, you're putting it to break even right here, right at this point. So that's a good thing to do. Move it up to break even.
When I get my first lot out, I go to break even.
Yeah. So you can do it even sooner by as soon as you get a closure above the number 2 point here. The 1, 2, 3. And you can move your stop to break even. I don't like to move my stop, so I tend to like to keep it right where it is and let it go.
Well, if I'm in an algo trade, I'll leave it exactly where it was at point 1, because I'm moving nice and steady in the proper direction, and so you don't really have to play the game. It's only when you get your consolidation move that you become concerned, will it go against me, or will it continue in the proper direction?
Yeah, what I'm trying to solidify with you guys is that it's a kind of mechanical thing in a sense, that you're looking for a specific setup, and if you don't see it, then you're not trading. You're just waiting for that, and it occurs so often. You're not going to be sitting for long. If there's, like right now on NVIDIA on the 1 minute, that this is looking pretty good for us, because we're getting that breach. We've got a low, we've got a breach here. This move up, this retrace, this is looking really good. But are we at the low? You have to look at it from a different time frame. Maybe there's still more to go down, right? So this is a great setup at this point, but you're not positive by just coming to the 1 minute that this is a low. So you have to be careful, because the setups are always there. Doesn't mean that it's the correct one, right? You have to look at it from a different perspective. So if I go to the 5 minute now, I say, okay, maybe I would want to, you can see they broke the low. So I don't even have to go to the 5 minute now, right? Because yes, it looked pretty good there, but you need to take a look higher to see, where am I in this? Now you can see where you are. You can see that we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2. We're up in a fourth wave area again. So we could chop around in here before we get out of here. But we are looking for a 1, 2, 3 bottom, to get out. So that's the key. If we have a 1, 2 here, we're looking for a 1, 2, 3 over here to get out and continue to move.
When you get a chance, Lennox, can you have a visit to Tesla or a 1 minute chart?
Sure. That good, Marquis? That help?
Please and thanks.
Marquis, did he leave us? I heard his son.
Is muted.
Yeah, I heard his son talking with him, so maybe. Okay, so Tesla. Let me go 15. Okay, so you were correct, Peter. We are rolling over. We've taken out the low already. So we've come down quite a bit, dropping, and even the NAS is coming down as well. So 5 minutes. So very choppy. So that's where your trend lines come in nice and handy. Peter, like that. Previous low, that would have been it right there. And you're breaking down to the downside. So you could go in on a retest. So if I come down to the 1 minute, I can make that even tighter. Then you could do a retest of that. But you've got a nice 1, 2, 3 there. So that's a nice play in itself right there, even before you break that. And there is what I'm talking about. That's that same pattern. You see, it's perfect. Right back into a gap. It's just perfect. The sweep here, down move, back into the gap. This is a sell. This is a sell. This is a sell. This is a sell. Sell. So this is what you want to see all the time. Sweep of the previous high. They drop it down. They take out the previous high here first. Then they drop it down, take out this low, push back into a gap, or 50 to 62%. Doesn't have to, even if there's no gap there, 50 to 62% works most of the time, majority of the time. Probability is high, and then we're taking that to the downside. This is a no hesitation trade. Like you just see it, you just go in. And you can put your stop here to start, and once you break this level and close below, you can move your stop right here, right after. So your stop is here, and you can move your stop here to where you got in, and you're good to go. And once you get to the first, like if I put the fibs on, and as George is saying, he likes to move his stop to break even. So if you get to your first target, which would be 78% for George, right there, you can move your stop to break even. Now you're playing for free. And your next target could be 1.414, 1.618, and so on, 200%.
Yeah, I really spend most of my time going to 162% target, except when I am in a counter trend trade. I generally do not try to push it beyond 141.
Yeah, and I can understand that completely. Because counter trend, you should never be sure if you're going to push it up 1.618 or 200 to 2%. It's possible, but probability, it's all probabilities, and the probability is lower when you're in a counter trend move. So that's the setup there, Peter. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I hope you caught it, or you didn't go in at all there.
Well, actually, what I'm waiting for right now is it's retracing to the bottom of wave 4, and I'd be really excited if I saw another 1, 2, 3 top. Right now, we're retracing back to. It happens all the time. The price breaks below wave 4.
Yeah, we could come back up here.
It's retracing right now, and that's where I'd really like to get in.
Yeah, that could happen for sure. I mean, we know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time, because we know we're going to get a 1, 2, 3 to continue down to take out these lows. That's our structure that we're looking for. So that's I shouldn't say we know it's going to happen all the time. That's what we're going to expect to happen, right?
Yeah, thank you. That confirms what I'm thinking. Yeah.
But you can see the beauty of it right here, right in here. This was a beautiful setup that you could have taken prior to this move. That's a nice move in itself right there. From you're coming in at 302 and you're getting it out at 1.618 is 298. That's 4 points. Not bad.
Yeah, it's starting to drop again now.
Yeah, it can still go up. They might just chop it up here. Yeah, I mean, if it's really weak, they could just continue straight down, right? So just never know what they're going to do in these fourth waves, right?
Yeah, I'm hesitating right now because
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, be patient because the move was here. So to catch it here now, you have to, be patient because it could come back up. They like to do that. They like to trick everybody to jump in. They might even push it just a little bit down below, and then they'll come all the way back up again just to take everybody out. Right? So it's best to be patient in here.
Actually,
And I can talk the game. I talk it, and I get caught sometimes because I jump in thinking, yeah, okay, I'm going to catch this, and then next thing I know, it's drawdown against me, and should have seen that coming. And so, I'm not infallible.
Yeah, we've all been there.
I think you made an important point, though, Peter, in that, if you're not clearly seeing your setup on the final legs that we're talking about now, just stay away from it.
Yes.
Even if it is only a second trade or whatever, if you can't see your setup, stay away. Save your money. Look for something that you can actually see. And
yeah, that's good advice, George.
And the important point is to try to get a picture in your mind of that ideal setup that you always see, and your probability of success quickly starts to climb if you pay attention to that. And as Lennox goes along, Lennox and I have added things and subtracted things from our setups over the years. And that's good. Everybody's constantly on the lookout for new things that can help you in gaining a better profitability. It takes time to test it out and build it up. Because what someone else sees, you might not see as easily. That's why I say always work with what you can see.
Yeah, my confidence level is usually pretty shaky in and around wave 4. Like I love to grab the wave 3 impulse wave, but then once we get into wave 4 and beyond, my confidence level is not great.
Well, as Lennox and I have always said, if you're seeing a wave 4, the easiest thing to do is to sit on your hands and wait for the next setup that you can properly see.
That's good advice, George.
And NASDAQ is almost identical to Tesla. Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
The same pattern. Look at that. Like you're looking at the same chart. Amazing. They did that same thing here. Sweep. They come down, close below, come back in, drop. The same pattern. So it looks like we're going to continue down a little further here on the NAS.
Oh yeah. There's a pattern in nature.
Mm-hmm. That's the 1, 2, 3. You see it?
Yeah.
You see the threes? Beautiful petals.
And I see the Fibonacci 5.
Yeah.
Who's the better photographer, you or Joe?
Well, Joe's pretty good. Joe's pretty good at it, Peter. It's a tough one. He's very good. I was really surprised the first time she invited me to her parents' place. We were sitting at dinner, and above on the dining room wall was a drawing of her mom and dad on their sort of like a wedding day, a portrait, this beautiful drawing. And I said, "Wow, that's a fantastic drawing. Who did that?" And he said, "Oh, Joe did that." I said, "What?" I thought I was good drawing. It was exceptional, and it's just such a beautiful portrait she did of them. It's like, wow. So very talented young lady she is, painting and drawing and photography. She's a little got a little bit of autism. She's very particular, very fussy, very everything has to be perfect. So I think I would give her the nod over me in that sense, because she's so much of a perfectionist. But she can't trade. She can't trade
She
this
probably
thing.
could if she hung in there, you know. I mean, learning to trade is a long-term experience. I mean,
She just doesn't have the patience for it.
I still see things that I didn't see before.
Well, patience is the number one, I think, for trading, and she just doesn't have that with trading. She just wants to be in a hurry to make a quick $50 or $100 and get out, and that's not the way to trade.
Yeah, well, she could unlearn that, but you have to really want to trade badly. I mean, you want to have to crawl over crushed glass to trade. You know, it's either in your blood or it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have staying power. I mean, because it's a tough business at the best of times.
Indeed. Who's with us? Anyone with us today? Everybody's quiet.
Vic is there. Stacy, Marquis.
I'm here.
I thought Armin was with us for a minute there.
Yeah, looks like he dropped out.
How are you, Stacy?
I'm okay.
Good.
Busy as usual.
Good.
Not bad.
Am I making any sense here, what I'm showing?
Oh yeah, yeah. Any information is good information.
You sound a little bit like the cop on Fargo. Oh yeah.
I haven't really watched Fargo.
No?
No, I found it too boring, too
What?
drawn out.
Great movie, man.
That's what I've heard.
Wow. You need to watch the whole thing.
I think I tried it twice and fell asleep both times.
Really? Wow. Yeah, it's a good movie. Yeah, you got to watch the whole thing. It's quite fascinating. It's a play on human. The human. I don't know what human emotions, human. Just how humans are. It's like, wow. It's amazing how different we all are, and the extremes that people will go to achieve a goal, or to try to achieve a goal, or whether it's to the detriment of others or not.
Maybe I'll have to try it when I get a good rest.
So we are just in a lull, not right now. We're in the, we're well into the algo. So the algo must have been coming down here. Now we're in a fourth wave. And so we could see a push up. We have equal highs right here, so they could come up and take that. Could even come all the way back up in here. And then we'd be looking, the same thing like Tesla, we'd be looking for that 1, 2, 3 up here, Peter, too.
Yeah, I agree. Patience is a hard thing to teach. You know who would make good traders? Nurses in ICU, because they are trained to stare at a number of computer devices for long periods of time to monitor a patient's health.
Mm-hmm. Just doing that work requires a great deal of patience. So
Yeah, it's a pretty boring job, a very necessary job, but they certainly have patience required to keep a patient alive. Because it's a life and death scenario. True to form, Tesla is now retracing to the bottom of wave 4.
okay, now Bitcoin is set up for a possible, that's a nice setup now for an entry, because we came back in here. So I would sell Bitcoin just on that move right there, because I've missed getting in on the fractal right there, but it's still a good spot to get in. So I've got the sweep, the drop, the retrace back in, the drop, retrace back up into a gap. So this is a sell to come down to take out these lows. So they're going back right to where I wanted them to be, right there. So I'll sell it again. Back into the order block. So I'd be totally wrong if they take out the high.
Peter, I see that Tesla's low is 297.25.
Yeah, it's thanks for noting that.
1, 2, 3. Building. So it's gone all the way from. It's made pretty good move up so far. Tesla's making a nicer move than NASDAQ is at this point. A lot cleaner. The mine Tesla just hit 141%. It's on its way to 162.
I don't know why they're hanging around so long up here on Bitcoin. We should be dropping.
How's Bitcoin, man?
It's possible they want to go and take that high again, but that's just mean if they do that. Yep. Wow.
Okay, Tesla just hit the 162%, going up.
Wow, that's quite the move. Very surprised at that, but not overly. I do have a 1, 2, 3 here, so I was hoping they wouldn't do that, but they do. They did. They can take, so they're taking all the stops out. Will they take these guys? They shouldn't. Put me in jeopardy here. So this is coming back into our number 2 point. B, C, A, B, C, D, and E. So we shouldn't break that high.
No, Tesla just hit 200%.
Wow, thanks, George.
It was a nice setup. And my 3-minute Heikin-Ashi is still saying that we have more to go.
Amazing. Guy went and took these highs. That's startling. That's interesting that they did that. Okay, so they're sweeping the middle. They're still going to come down, but it's just decided to go back in and take these guys out. Lots of stops here.
Yeah, that's an area, Lennox, where I sit on my hands.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm looking for that drop, but yeah, they've put me in trouble here. But I'm still confident they're going to come down. So look for a fractal. I'm going to add some more to my. I could have put a stop in at this point and taken a loss, but I decided I didn't want to do that. So. Wait for this candle to close.
Yeah, 200%, Peter, might be the top point. Now it's doing a little bit more resting, and we're getting a smaller Heikin-Ashi candle, so it's consolidation time. We have to see what it does at the next candle.
Prices meandered back into wave 4, and it's touching the Tom DeMark resistance or supplier distribution line. So we might be reaching the top of this run.
Yeah, that's the question mark at this point. And it seems to be we're doing some more consolidation now, so if you had taken off at 162%, that would have been a handsome profit. I don't get concerned that it goes up to 200. The NASDAQ is doing pretty much a similar thing, but you have a nicer looking pattern on Tesla at this point. NASDAQ is pushing higher at this point. It only consolidated for 2 candles.
So yeah, Tesla is sweep there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could go and sweep here one more time, and then we'll get a 1, 2.
Yeah.
That could be what they're setting up to do. And that might be just similar to NAS.
The NAS is pushing up higher at this point.
Very close.
Yeah, but NAS had only a 1 candle consolidation, or call it 2 candle consolidation, and it's now pushing higher. Either way, we got to be close to a top movement.
The difference with Tesla and the NAS is that there was no sweep on the NAS at the bottom compared to Tesla.
Yeah.
Did a sweep.
Tesla's getting ready to continue on down at this point.
So, yeah, so there's a divergence here on Tesla and the NAS. See that right at the bottom?
Right.
The NASDAQ did not sweep. So there we could be getting a turnaround now. So Tesla is also, so might not get that other push up there, possibly. We'll see when they pull back, if they just use that gap.
Well, my Tesla 3 minutes says that, yeah, we're definitely done with, either we're going to make a bigger 1, 2, 3 or whatever. Or a big wave 4 at this point of business. But we're getting the equivalent response in NASDAQ right now too. It just took a couple more pushes upward before it turned down, but it's saying, I like the way Tesla's going. Let me do that. Yeah, it's completely turned around also.
Looking for a retrace now. Bitcoin's killing me. You're really playing games on me here. There's that pullback. So is that happening there? So the question now is, do they take out the high again, or do they just go into the gap and that's enough? Our time. Okay, we're coming up into the last hour already. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Time flies along. And so they're coming up into this gap. So if they go through the gap, and they could possibly take out this high. This point here we have a 1-2, so it looks like they're going to take out the high.
Lennox, I put a flower in the room that my wife took a picture of today. Kind of an interesting looking flower. It's like a ground flower. Did you see the flower, Lennox?
No, it's not showing up as a. I can't open it.
You can't open it?
No. It's
Huh. I
Here
showed
it
it
comes.
to you on my
Maybe
screen.
here it comes now.
Oh, okay.
It's trying. It was giving me an error message there.
I can show you on mine if you want.
He's thinking about it here. There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's neat, eh?
Isn't that a beautiful flower?
Mm-hmm. Very
I mean,
pretty.
it's winter time here too, and
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, we were walking around the other day and noticing all the flowers that are blooming away, and we said, "Oh, probably no flowers out east," but
yeah.
we were wrong. Yeah, that's really nice. Very cool. Yeah, good one. Love those petals.
Beautiful, eh?
Yeah, that's so nice. Oh. Okay, so it looks like Tesla's going to take that high. NAS is almost taking the high. Bitcoin's giving me nothing but grief. Should have put the stop in on Bitcoin. So that's a lesson. Put the stop in. Take a small loss.
Yeah.
Well, it's not doing what I was expecting it to do. They're messing me up in the fourth wave.
Okay, it's looking like Tesla will continue north at this point. It did.
Yeah, we should take out the high.
I had about 4 or 5 candles of consolidation that went on here. Now it's hinting that it wants to go north again.
See, these are the quick plays you could make, Peter, if you were, brave enough. That kind of move, catch that move there, 298 to 302. Again, 4 points. 4 points that way, 4 points this way.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
4 points times 300 shares, that's $1,200.
It's $1,200, yeah. So those kind of moves. So 300 shares. I'm going to try that on the way down. I'm going to go into Tesla. I mean, I played in NAS anyway. It doesn't really matter, but yeah.
Here we have our second up Tesla candle with no tail on it.
Oh, let me see how much I got in my account. I've got 1.55, 1,550,000. So I can certainly I could even do 1,000 shares or more with 1,500,000. Bitcoin's hurting me right now. Okay, let's see if they take out that high. We'd like to see them take out this high. That will give us the sweep. And then we'd be looking for them to come back and take out this low.
Well, this is doing a nice job on structuring its Heiken-Ashi 3 minute stuff. Perfect. perfect type of setup going on right now.
Okay, so there's the sweep. All right, so now we would want to see them come back, make a 1, 2, 3 here to drop.
Okay.
Closure below this low here. That's the ideal setup.
Peter, I put my Tesla charts in the room. The left one is 3-minute Heikin Ashi. The right one is 1-minute candle.
Thanks, George.
And the current move up, I'm seeing their divergence come in. Is kind of what Lennox is saying too, from a different point of view. He's looking at it, but I am getting a divergence. Which we'll see if it continues in that frame or not. So far, the Heikin Ashi third candle is making a nice upward move. It's saying that we have the potential for going higher at this point.
Well, we're now back up into the number 2 area, so we shouldn't really be going much higher than this area here.
Yeah,
We shouldn't go through here.
Yeah, that green line on my chart is actually the 200 SMA.
Mm-hmm. We're getting a turnaround, so that's a fractal. So on the NAS, I would be selling. Oh, NAS didn't go through. Isn't that interesting? See that? NAS did not break the high,
Yeah.
whereas Tesla broke the high. So NAS might still go one more time to take that high. We'd like to see them sweep these equal highs here. So it's possible NAS can go up one more time, take that high. We want to see them come back and close below this low. So similar type of affair.
I mean, its momentum on the Tesla is still pretty strong, but you can see that it's reaching a point where it may want to relax. Still has no tail, but the body of the candle is, while at the top of it is the head of the prior top, the length of the body is right now smaller, but I have to wait till the candle ends to see if it's going to stay in that situation or if it will get bigger. Okay.
The other question we have to ask is, are we sure that we're coming back down? Because if this is the low, and they've just done this move, which would be our 1-2, they might not come back as like we're thinking. I mean, NASDAQ looks quite strong here. So let me just look at Tesla again from that same point of view from the 15-minute. So what I'm asking here, Peter, is this move down could be the bottom. And we're looking for a fifth wave, but possibility that they don't give it to us and they could continue pushing.
Well, it looks like we've had a 1, 2, 3 bottom, wave 3, going into wave 4. Looks like we're trying to push into wave 5 right now.
Wave 5 to the downside?
To the upside.
Upside.
Yes. So you're kind of looking for this move here, right? To come back down and break this low, correct?
I think it's finished doing that. If you're on Tesla, I mean.
I'm on Tesla. So
Your picture
is that what you were looking for? That okay? Let me go down to the 5. We'll see it a little
on the
better.
1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute on the 1 minute.
Okay, so on the 5, we have this 1-2 here. So it would seem that we should get this move to come back down and take out this low. That's kind of what I was thinking that could happen, but we could be done because they might not give us a 5th wave here.
Well, on the 1 minute, it looks like we are now in wave 5.
our
1
1
minute.
minute just got through the 200 SMA that I was below before.
Yeah, so what's happened here? What's really okay? This is quite interesting. I'm going to show you something. This is quite interesting because let me go to here. I've got NASDAQ and S&P here, but I'm going to put. Come on, show it to me. NASDAQ, S&P. I'm going to change this one to Tesla.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm on the 1 minute time frame. What's happened here is that we had divergence.
Yes.
So the divergence, what it's saying is that Tesla did it properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're expecting. We're expecting 5 waves down. So Tesla has done it. It's completed, and now it's moving back up. Whereas the NAS did not give us the 5th wave, which we'd be expecting here. And so it's also moving back up it had more strength than Tesla did at this point. So I don't think we're coming back down to take out this low anymore, which is what I thought what we were looking for. You know, I was kind of thinking, okay, maybe we get a sweep here and we'll sweep this guy and we'll get a 1, 2, 3 here and we can drop down again and take out that low. That's a possibility, but maybe not. Maybe we're just going to keep going up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see that. And
yeah.
The problem I have right now is that I'm seeing kind of both scenarios.
Yeah, so you have to
probable.
Yeah, you have to watch NASDAQ and Tesla at the same time, Peter, because they are kind of twins. They're, one, it's like we're watching NASDAQ and S&P all the time because one of them is telling the truth and the other one is kind of trying to fool everybody. And this is the same kind of thing. So quite interesting.
Yeah.
So I was expecting that we would come back and take out this low and continue back down. But then I realized, wait a minute, there's divergence here. This could be the bottom. And we're not coming back down at all. We're heading up. Yeah, we could get a pullback, but we're still going to continue going up rather than coming back down.
Yeah, good analysis.
If that makes sense, yeah, this is where they really trick everybody right here.
Yeah, Peter, this is where I've been finding that my 3-minute Heikin-Ashi is giving me a lot better control over what's going on. And right now I've got a no-tail 3-minute Heikin-Ashi going up, and price is still bumping against that 200 SMA. It really only touched it. It's never really solidly closed above it. And every time it touches it, it has a quick turnaround from it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait a couple more candles before I post another drawing, because it has every bit of the logic that it can get a close above the 200 on my 1-minute candle chart.
Well, price is above all my moving averages, 521.
It's looking like, yeah, a continuation to the upside here. There's a possibility.
Pushing towards the 50 EMA.
Yeah, see how this is so interesting right here, because they swept as I was expecting. They came back down as I was expecting, but they did not close below that candle. They came right on it, but they didn't close on it, below it. That's quite interesting. So if we take out this high, we're more than likely going to be pushing to the upside. A closure here would have signaled a possibility that we're coming back down.
Well, on my chart, 50 and 200 EMAs are trending down, so I'm not sure what that says.
You're not still in your Bitcoin trade, are you?
I am.
I'm on Tesla.
I'm getting destroyed.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come back. I know it's going to come back, or I think it's going to come back. It better come back. So I'm hanging in there with it. I'm doing a Nick Sean.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Because I hate to lose, Stacy.
Me too.
I think Peter is on that boat too.
Oh no, that's a terrible thing for me. It screws up my mind.
At this point, I've lost most of the body of my Heiken-Ashi, and has developed a tail on the bottom. So that 200 has been a powerful point to get around. At the close of the next Heiken-Ashi candle, I'll post the new drawing. I just finished it.
Okay, so we swept that high. What are they doing now? We've swept in the pullback, so we would have to close below this guy
Okay, there we go.
to get a change in the direction.
I can post a new one now because both of them have closed. I posted the two charts again because both of them candles closed at the same time, so you can see the doji in there is where I was talking about the change of character going on. That doji was formerly an up Heiken-Ashi. Now we have a red down Heiken-Ashi going on. On the chart on the right, the green line is my 200 SMA, and you can see how strong that was in preventing it from going north, closing north of that.
Yeah, we're going down now. We have three red Heiken-Ashi candles on the 1 minute chart.
If we break this low, yeah. So that could be a pullback that could take this guy out here. But doesn't mean that we are coming all the way down. We could just bounce, continue up. So we shall see here how this plays out. But this is the sweep here, and now we've got a sweep here now, but we don't have a closure at this point. But again, we don't have to have a closure, but that would be a lot more confidence, and so forth. If there was a closure here below this level, then I would be no problem trying to get in on a retrace.
We have 4 or 5 red Heikinatchi candles down on the Tesla 1 minute chart.
Could be needing a.
We could be trying to put in a 1, 2, 3 top on Tesla 1 minute chart.
Or change the cable.
Yeah, Tesla has done it already. From this point, Tesla was a sell from up here. See that?
I don't know. Anyway, I would just
We swept.
put you around in the bio.
We sweep. We close below, but we don't get a retrace. Not much anyway. Just a little, and then they're just dropping it. So Tesla is very weak compared to the NAS.
Fortunately,
At that
come back.
point, the difference here.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
We're getting a pushback into that gap.
Yeah. That's coming in right now.
There's one for you, George.
Oh yeah, orchid.
The orchid. Purple. White. And yellow. Okay, so that would be a sell at this point if we felt that we were gonna fall. So I'm gonna do a sell. Just missed it by that much. See if we can come back down. Although I did not get a closure below,
Yeah.
I'm still looking for a sell here. And I'm gonna put a stop on NASDAQ though this time.
You're on NAS now, right?
Yes.
I think we're trying to put in a 1, 2, 3 top on the 1 minute Tesla.
I'll put my stop. I'll put it up here for now.
Well, my cell is just starting to set up. I couldn't really take it yet.
It's an iffy one. It's an iffy sell because
Yeah.
they could push through. Because we're right inside a gap, a large gap on the 5 minute. We're inside this gap. And so, yes, they could come down, but yes, they could go up too. So it's kind of an iffy one. I'm not getting perfect confluence here. They did not close below. Everything else lines up nicely. I've got a sweep here, but they didn't close.
Right.
So, and we get a drop back down to take out this low is kind of what I'm looking for here. Be kind of like a scalp in a sense, quick move.
Yeah, more or less of a scalp, because I don't have that change of character there. It didn't go through the body. It's just went through the tail.
Even
The structure there.
I'd like them to come down a little faster. Because again, they're hanging around too long. Big red candles here. Boom, boom, boom.
It's struggling trying to do that though.
See the difference with Tesla. Tesla
Like
made a nice drop. That's what I'm looking for now, is a drop like that now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're getting turned around to the upside now. But it's only as a possibility. It's not assured at this point. My call would be that this is a consolidation period.
I'm inside a large gap, inverted gap.
Yeah.
So if this holds, we should continue down.
We're just getting outside of the order block. which reminds me, I think ICT was saying that the order block can be, all the contiguous red
Yes.
and green.
Yes. In this case, there's only one order block here.
It's a single candle, unless it's a real tiny one at the bottom. Then you
Yeah.
might think
Well, in this case, we have one bearish order block right here at the top.
yeah, that's true. But at the bottom of that,
At the bottom, I mean, I guess you could say it's an order block, but it's, this is more of when you're at the bottom of a move, like this would be the order block here.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, but
Here.
it depends upon who you talk to. It'd be a quasi-order block.
Yeah, it's definitely not an exact science, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was it. I thought we were heading down here for a minute. That was.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm seeing on the. I'm on the NAS right now, and I got the consolidation going in the upper direction right now. So this is where, depending upon how you define your 1, 2, 3 here, I would be counting how many candles before I would say it's indeterminate which direction, and I'll just make my profits or my losses at this point.
Mm-hmm. Looking good. We've closed below the gap, so we should continue down here.
I'm still in that indecision point.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Playing games.
That's what makes a ball game.
We are playing around. So we have equal highs right here, so they might sweep that one more time into the order block, and then we'll get dropped. Maybe this is just they're taking a long time in here. So they did sweep.
Yeah, Tesla is actually a little bit ahead of the NASDAQ at this point, in showing the direction.
No,
okay, here
so that didn't work. That's what I kind of thought. We did not close below, so it makes this a weak high. See how that works?
Yeah.
So this makes it a weak high because we did not close below that low. We sweep here, looking for a sweep here. They sweep it just by wicks. So you have to be really careful. Yes, you can take the trade, but you take a risk that they can take you out again because it's a weak high, because they didn't close. So that's one of the rules, and you have to be aware of that. And yes, you can take the trade. Sometimes it works, but the probability says wait for the closure below previous low.
I posted my NAS to the chat so you could see what I was looking at.
So this was a sweep.
Minute on the.
Hilarious.
I have a 5 minute on the left and the 1 minute on the right.
Very good on their part there. So that's what I surmise that could happen, right? That Tesla and NASDAQ could indeed be at the bottom and we're heading up rather than looking for a move back to the downside. But there we go. Now again, they're doing it again. So we swept.
Exactly, yeah.
So we do have a 1, 2, 3 though.
And we have that.
We could see, this kind of movement
star
and
at the top.
continuation. So we have to be careful still. It's highly unlikely that they're just going to do this and then come straight down.
Yeah, this is a classic turnaround candle structure.
But we have a 1,
Big
2, 3
move
bottom.
up and then a shooting star and then a red down candle.
Yes, but we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So that says that we should go up one more time. That's what we would have to expect. So yes, they can make it look like, to entice traders to sell here. And of course, everybody puts their stops here. Right? So that's the enticement, the inducement. But once we know we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom, we have to expect that this could be taken. Bitcoin's killing me, Stacy.
Yeah, sorry.
So after
No, it's all good. Wow, they're going up quite a ways here.
we're going after
They
what
kill me a lot too.
people place their stops up there. So let's go find them.
That's where they're going for. They're going to take them out, right?
Yep.
So yeah, so I think it's easier just to put the stop in, Stacy.
Yeah, I know. It's such a fight though sometimes.
Yes, but it's best on the brain, on the psyche. Take the quick loss, small loss.
Out now.
So now I have to battle to make my money back, right?
Yep.
This is one of those situations, Lennox, where I would modify my 7 candle rule of getting out when I'm in a situation as tight as this is. I could easily go down to 4 candles if it doesn't make the move aggressively enough. Just get the heck out, whatever. Win or lose.
Yeah, could do that. So Tesla did the same thing.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. But the difference with Tesla was that they did break that low here and did drop down. So you could have played Tesla for a quick profit there, but then you have to change course and go back up. Because if you're looking for them to come in and then drop, then you're going to be dead. So
yeah, I see that.
Quite interesting there. So that did not work. Now we have
the important point here, though, Lennox, is that we both knew that it wasn't an excellent setup, so that we're aware that we could be wrong on this kind of.
Yes, you have to be aware that of all the you have to look at all the possibilities, and this was one of the possibilities that we could be wrong, and that, especially when they did not close below that low.
Right.
That's a little questionable. You have to kind of say, okay, why are they not closing below that low? Because they want to go and take out the high. That's why. So they fool everyone by sweeping here. So it looks good. And then they come down, they sweep it with the wicks, and that looks good. And then they come back in and start coming down. That looks good. So people pile in at this point because, it looks good. But then they say, nope, take you all out. It's beautiful on their part. I mean, they're very good at it. And so they make it so that at this point here, sometimes they will do this, even though it's just a wick, and sometimes they don't. So the most times that they don't is when it is a closure. The probability is higher.
And the relevant thing about this is that you are always looking where the buys and the sells are, and if they need more lots to move in one direction or t'other, find out where they're going to find them.
Exactly what I was saying here is that the same thing happened on Tesla. They sweep it, they come down and sweep this one, but they close below. And that closure below is the signal that, yes, they're going to fall. but they still come back and take them out anyways. So it was just a quick grab of liquidity down here. And they go back up. So they're very good at the manipulation.
That's why I say when you're building your setup procedure, start with something that gives you the highest percentage of success, and learn that cold, ice cold. And then you can start experimenting with some of these side events which are much more difficult to analyze.
So they are heading to take out the highs. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful setup here. That's a nice play to that level. Then we get this kind of fourth wave move, and they do it again. So we would have to expect that this was going to happen, that they would come up and take out these highs. Although it looked like maybe could have been done, and they were trying to trick us and come back down, but nope, heading to the highs. So the expectation of our structure is paramount.
So Lennox,
Mm-hmm.
on Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at it now on the 30-minute or the 15-minute,
Yeah, they've come up quite a ways, eh?
yeah, it looks like they filled the 30-minute gap though, and they're hitting resistance. So it might be a place where it might turn around.
I just made my screen really big. I don't know what I just did. You make the screen bigger or smaller.
Certainly got fuzzy. Well, you're working on your screen.
How do you make the screen bigger or smaller, Stacy? I know I did something. I pressed something by mistake.
Oh,
The
if
color.
you do
Oh,
control
there it is.
your,
I got it. Yeah, it's.
okay.
I pressed the control key.
There you
Yeah,
go.
control and move your mouse scroller, and it'll shrink it or increase it.
There we go. That's where we want it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to Bitcoin here. So yeah, Bitcoin is just killing me right now. But so on the 30-minute, yeah, you can see that they've come all the way back up into the area of the number 1, 2 here. 1, 2, 3. So that's a drop, and then they do the A, B, C, D, E leg way back up. And so we would expect this drop. So I'm just going to stay the course and come all the way back down and make all my losses back. But I've put myself in a huge hole by doing that. So I've got it marked out, A, B, C, D, E leg. So we should be ready for a turnaround in this area here. They've gone through all these gaps, which I didn't think they would do, but they did. So yeah, I would expect them to turn things around soon here, because we've had 5 waves up now. It should be basically done. So it's quite interesting what they did here in this area here. We came down, this is our number 3 point, and they did an A and a B. And then the C leg is also like an A, B, C, D, E. And that gives us the C. And then they drop it into the D, and then they go into the E. So very tricky on their part. It looked like we were done here and they were just going to continue down, which is what I kind of expected. But once they broke this level, oh boy, that was it. So again, very smart on their part, very tricky. They're very good. We're still not done. So 1, 2, another 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're still going. I'm looking for that sweep again. So this could be it now. There's our structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So look for the sweep, and then a 1, 2, 3 top. Come back. The closure below this low, if they'll ever stop. There's our sweep. So NAS, okay, so they did drop back quite a bit on the NAS, eh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would think they would have done the same on Tesla.
Yep. Looks exactly the same.
Yeah. Okay, so now the question is, do we bounce and continue, or are they taking out this guy? So on a larger scale, if I went up to the 5-minute time frame, this is what that would entail. Taking this low out to do that, to continue down, if they're going to continue down. Otherwise, they're going to continue up and take that higher. This looks like a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 retrace, 50 to 62% area, and a continuation to the upside for NAS. See how it looks on the 5. That's Tesla, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it looks like they're going to continue pushing to the upside here now. So on the NAS, similar type of move back down and a continuation. So we're packed up in there, so I'm going to buy it right there because we're all packed up in that nice area. Looking for them to exit out of here. See if I can make my losses back on NAS. So they come back and sweep these guys here. So lots of liquidity there. And we leave out of here now. might be taken out because they could want to go take these guys, which is odd because we have a 1-2. We wouldn't expect them to take that low, but they are. So we're getting a sweep here. So that did not work.
Yeah.
Look at that.
The NAS, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought they would have done that, but they did. So the Tesla is not doing that.
Just closed below the 200.
Yeah, look at the difference with the Tesla. With Tesla, they're not doing that at all.
Yeah.
This is what I would have expected, that they wouldn't come back down and take this low, but on NASDAQ they are. So quite interesting there. Looks like they want to take these lows here as well. Interesting. So these guys are gone. All the buyers have been taken out on the NAS, so there's only these guys over here left.
Yeah, they're just taking them out now.
So they take these ones.
On mine, they're almost taking out the bottommost one.
Yeah, I would not have thought they would do that, but they are doing that. We see, so we're getting divergence again. This is where, Peter taught me all about divergence, and this is where divergence is playing. You're playing games with divergence right now. So we're getting that.
Well, it looks like they might be turning around. Let's see what it does.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to turn around now.
Yep.
And so there is a fractal, so I'll buy it again at this point on the fractal. So I'm saying that they're not going to take this other low out, which they still could. I mean, I've got a 1-2 there. Nothing says that they can't do that one more time to take, just to be mean, take everybody out one more time. But this could be themselves here too. So we'll see if they continue up, straight up now.
Looking at my active trader, there's plenty of volume on either side of where we are right now.
It could get taken out again.
Yeah, if they need more of lots, it's an easy take at this point.
That's not good if they take me again. So that they take that low and that low. Wow, they're mean.
And at this point, if you look at the size of those candles, it's moved ATR, which I use for touching my stop. It's moved it into a high volatility area at this point.
So that's very, very interesting there. So they took me again because can't see it on the 1 minute chart, but on the seconds chart, what looks like that could be bottom, but they really have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the sweep. They did that purposely to take out these guys as well. They haven't gone through really, but touched. They're going to drop it one more time. This where I can go down to even 5 seconds. And you can see what they're doing. So we got a 1, 2 up here, or even to here. And then they could drop it one more time to take out these lows. Otherwise, we're done.
Yep, we're done.
It could be done. We've got a sweep, but they didn't. It's interesting here because they didn't take out the low. They kind of just touched on it, which is very odd. See here, they just touched it. So I would expect them to take it out. And they are. They're going to do it. They're going to take it out.
It's interesting now. I'm sitting right on VWAP with the volume weighted.
See on the seconds. That's what I expected, that they would take that out. So they really fool everybody because they go up quite a ways, make it look like they're going, and then they come back in a hurry, take everybody out. Everybody's gone now. So now it's a buy. Now I buy. Now I'm buying with a bit more confidence than previously here, even though it looked pretty good. So I'll buy it again. And my stop can be below here, or yeah, that's about it. I don't really have anywhere else to hide my stop. So
there is divergence when you compare it to Tesla.
Yeah, lots of divergence going on, right?
Yeah,
they didn't take the lows.
NAS went down a lot further than Tesla did.
Yes. For a big push here now to the upside, and we're almost into macro time, so I would expect a continuation in the macro today.
And what direction is that going to push this?
It's very interesting. We're still kind of in limbo land, and stuck in the middle.
Yeah,
It could go either way still, really, you know. You've got that indecision candle on the 4 hour. Even down to the hourly here, it's a bit indecisive. We could fall. They could be rather mean and take out this low still on the hourly there. That if they do that, that's possible that they could go and take out the low again. So it's a bit.
I would say if we're expecting Bitcoin to fall, you'd probably expect the NAS to fall.
This to fall as well, yeah. So it's looking, you know, when you look at it from this vantage point, it's certainly, we've got a 1, 2, 3 on the hourly. We could certainly come whipping down here. So I probably have to be careful about this trade that I'm in, looking to go long, because I'm kind of seeing a different picture when I go higher. So this could be the 1, 2 we dropped, and now they're just chopping it up in a fourth wave in a different way and looking to entice everybody to go long and to take everybody out, coming back down. And our 4 hour candle opened, went up high, came down low, but we still can't get anywhere. So we could still continue falling.
Well, its direction is down from what I'm seeing on the NAS. There's been a lot of consolidation right now, so that's where it gets tricky.
I'm not liking this so much anymore. It's looking more like they want to drop it down. I'm afraid. Not that afraid, but I'm afraid. They're looking to take me out again, so I'm wrong. I'm getting destroyed here. Very good on their part again. So we've swept this low, back in very quickly, coming back. Another 1, 2, 3 here. I'm looking to go back up just for a retrace here, but they're not giving us that retrace. Tesla is just tanking.
Yeah, we have a 1, 2, 3 top on the 1 minute Heikenhachi.
Yeah, we got a 1 minute, 1, 2, 3 top on the regulars as well. So yeah, they're fooling us here, enticing everybody to go long and taking you out.
Put my two charts of the NAS in the room. You can see what I've been looking at while I've been talking about down. And you look at 3 minute, I can actually really going down. And
I see it, I see
that
it.
is hugging below 0 line. When I look at my active trader chart, I see a lot of volume below. Let's see if I just snap out of that to see. I put my active trader chart in the room for right now, and you see the numbers on the left side in the blue. That's the volume of buys and sells. And they're at the price points there immediately to the right of it. And you can see that there's no lack of volume wherever they want to go. Oh, that's a plant that I saw in Hawaii.
This grows in our yard. Not sure what it is though.
The zones for it, but I forget the name of it. Do you know the name of it, Tony?
No, I do not. I do not. Okay.
Someone's microphone has a lot of static.
Yeah, not sure whose that is.
Oh, it just went away.
Oh, looks like it's
I think
George's
I think
microphone.
it's George. Yeah.
George, your microphone's playing games. You're muted. Your
This
microphone's
time,
making a lot of noise, George.
Pardon?
Your microphone's making a lot of noise.
It is. Wow.
Yes.
Got a lot of static.
To point out. It's amazing because it's an $80 microphone too.
They got you. They saw you coming, George.
Mine's is $10 from Walmart, George.
It's amazing how you can use trendline breaks to trendline breaks in conjunction with 1, 2, 3 to show where to go short. Like I can show it on my screen if you want.
Sure. Go ahead.
You want me to do that?
Sure.
Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you can see this is see, we've been in wave 4 for quite a while on Tesla. And I've been plotting all my trend lines and watching for 1, 2, 3s. And here you can see we had a 1, 2, 3 top using Heikenhachi candles. I drew this Tom DeMark demand or support trend line in here. That was the time to go short right there.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath that trend line break. So you can use trend line breaks in conjunction with 1, 2, 3s to give you a comfort level to go short here. And you'll notice that At that point, MACD right here on that trend line break, MACD was below the blue line was below the red line. Good angle and separation, so good confidence level to go short in here and pick up 301, maybe 2 points.
Okay, so Peter,
yeah,
on the line, on the trend line break, just above it, we had a retrace back up to the supply trend line. You see that? You touch that. So that's an even better entry.
Yeah, that's a better entry.
Because that's your number 3 point.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3 up to the trend line, and then boom. It
Yeah,
would have
so
been
that's your entry at
better.
The number 3 point.
Yeah.
For even
Yeah,
better, you know, more bucks, more bang for your money.
Yeah, so I learned a lot today because I've been trying to figure out how to deal with wave 4, and what I've been looking for all the way through today is that 1, 2, 3 top right there. There's the resistance or supply or distribution line. Price went up to test it, and then boom, that's Lennox is saying that's a good short right there. Of course, another short was on a break of this demand or support trend line right here, two times to go short, and then a run down worth about $2, which is a lot of money in Tesla terms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that's it for me.
Yeah, that's great. Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the trend that those trend lines, demand supply trend lines, are really good. I would agree. I kind of eye them now. I don't even bother drawing them, but yeah, that's.
As you can see on NASDAQ, we're going
We are
down
getting that drop.
quite a bit now.
Oh, we're into the algo. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or the macro, I should say. Sorry. So so we're heading down. After we looked at it, we realized, okay, wait a minute. It's a possibility that we could be heading down. So all the liquidity is sitting below. So they're heading back down to take out all the liquidity. So this low is in jeopardy now. That looks like that's where they're heading. So, and I've missed my opportunity. Yeah, looking at Peter's stuff there, forgot about looking at this thing to get in. So that would have been a nice sell right in there.
Well, on the good side, your Bitcoin's recovering.
Yeah, Bitcoin's coming back nicely, so that's good.
It's still on Peter's screen, just so you know. It's still on Peter's screen, just so you know.
Okay. Yeah, let me go back. Thanks, Peter, for that.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
So we've got break there. So I'm drawing those lines as Peter is doing. So they're similar to this break, what I was talking about, break of the previous low, the sweep of the high, they come back down, close below, and then go back up into the gap. So that worked right there, and then another time they did it again, and then you get the drop. So that was what we were looking for there. So I've got a trend line here, which would be this one actually, right? At that point. This one looks above, this one looks flat. And
You
one
can
from
see
the
how
top.
you can see how price respected that resistance line all the way down.
Yes, and this I can move a little tighter now to here.
Yeah, that's right.
So any retrace at this point could still be a good sell.
Yes.
Because again, it's the same thing. We've closed below this guy, so we could look for a retrace at this point to come back to keep going down.
So if you drew another trend line across the bottom swing low or cycle low, you'd probably see that we have a bearish triangle in a downtrend.
If I put one here,
Connecting to the very low point there, the lowest swing point
yeah,
over here. Yeah, over here. I don't know where you connect it back to.
yeah, it's pretty flat. It's actually going the wrong way at this point.
Yeah, well,
Still has
somewhere,
to be here.
well, somewhere to the left. Yeah, well, yeah, somewhere to the left there's a lower
It's
point.
these two still here at this point. Okay, so I jumped in, but they've gone up a little higher than I expected, so I got to sell again. And so they came all the way up into the gap here. So we're looking for them to continue falling here. Hope I'm correct here this time. Did they take
Yeah,
out
we
the
have
low?
a descending triangle and a downtrend, so I don't expect
Yeah.
price to go much higher.
Yeah, we should stop here now and come down.
Hard turning around if there's somewhere around this point.
I'm watching for the trade on the 5-minute, and I'm just waiting for that current candle to break the low of the last candle. Then I'm entering. So without that break of low, it gives it time to kind of turn around or what have you.
So you're looking for a breach of this low here? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, with that current candle.
Yeah.
So that way it saves me from jumping in and it kind of retracing like that or what have you. Well, sometimes it does, but sometimes it just fake out.
Yeah, they've come back up quite a ways on that retracement, all the way back up into that trend, the supply trend line. Interesting. So they're going through it. Interesting. So they're really enticing the traders to go long here. Very interesting. So are we still, it's pretty flat. That's kind of flat. So I'm going to sell again because I think they're coming down now. I'm just taking big risks here. I'm trying to make all my money back. And we are 1 minute before the close, so we should see a big drop here.
Yeah, for those trading Tesla, I would expect Tesla to go down tomorrow because we're still in wave 4. And leg 2 down is to come probably tomorrow.
And Stacy, I'm almost back to positive in Bitcoin.
Yeah, it just took a big drop.
Amazing. No, it's pulling back up again. I was almost break even there a moment ago. Okay, I'm getting a nice drop in the NAS. I'm going to take a little something off. 80.
I have to go, Lennox.
All right, Peter. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you for your
Just missed out
excellent
a nice profit there.
Take care,
Yeah, thanks for
Peter.
your excellent analysis.
All right.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks for your analysis
Got
as
the
well.
4 o'clock
Your
bell.
input. It's great.
Happy trading, everybody.
Thanks.
Come on, big drop down. Okay, Bitcoin just went right back up.
Yeah, I
After
saw
this,
that.
it's such a beautiful drop.
Did you see that oil's tumbled quite a bit the last couple days?
No, we haven't looked at oil.
It did a big drop yesterday and today.
Wow, I could have taken a small loss there. Boy, I'm back in on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They really played games there. Cool. But they're going to come back down.
Is it the US dollar really strong now because oil's gone down and gold's gone down and Bitcoin's gone down?
The dollar hasn't made much of a move today.
I think everyone's just going to cash.
Yeah, maybe.
Because with the tariff wars and everything, and it is early in the Trump presidency, so everybody just wants to see how it goes.
Did you hear that the government, U.S. government, has collected a lot in bitcoins, but it's lost the passwords for a lot of them. So if a person was convicted and it's been overturned, they have to give back the dollars that they got from them. But if they lost the wallet, they're at a big loss.
And so does that mean Bankman-Fried is going to be let go?
Well, I mean, they owe the money. They know what they went in at, so they have to pay it, but they don't. I mean, normally, as Bitcoin has been going up and up and up, they would have a huge profit if that was the case. But now they have it as a loss.
So technically, since Bitcoin actually did go up eventually, does that mean that what is it called? The Bankman-Fried company. I can't remember what the name of it was, but does that mean that it was actually a successful business model?
Well, I don't know exactly.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Bateman free. That's all U.S. stuff, eh?
Yeah.
The kid who went to jail because he started the Bitcoin company, and then everybody invested their money, and then Bitcoin took a tumble, and he spent so much money to I guess get it off the ground, what have you, and then he went to jail. But then I think George said that when he was in jail, Bitcoin went up, and everybody was able to recoup their losses. So technically, doesn't that make it a successful company?
Technically. Technically speaking, yes. Okay, boy, I had some nice profit there that I was just about to take, and it went back up against me so quick. So now I'm in drawdown again without a stop. So I'm getting a little chewed up in here. And Bitcoin also came back. I came within a whisker of break even on Bitcoin, and then it popped right back up again. So I have to wait for it to come down.
Yeah, it'll probably slowly come down over Asian session.
Yeah, I expect that. And with the NAS, I've got a clean 1, 2, 3. So this is just a push back up into this gap, it looks like. We should continue coming back down again one more time. So I'm not going to panic out of this one either. So we should start turning around here. So my trend lines.
How long do you want to stay in this today, Lennox?
Sorry, George?
How long do you want to stay in the program today?
Oh, well, we're after 1 now, so
okay.
Everybody.
Whatever. I just trying to get an idea in case the boss wants to know.
Yeah, if everybody's good, we can call it a day now. No problem.
Yeah, I'm all good.
If you're in a trade now, finish it off.
No, it's all good, George. It's not going to be finished till Asia session now.
Okay. No problem.
Going to be holding overnight here into the Asia session tonight, so it's all good. All right, so
then.
it was Stacy and Marquis, and that's it. Anyways, and Vic, thanks, guys. Oh, today is Tuesday, right? It's not Wednesday. So, boy, time flies, eh? It's Wednesday already, Vic, almost? Wow.
Yeah, it goes quick.
My word. I'm just getting older and older.
You and
George, I'm
me.
going to be catching up to you pretty quick. All right, guys. Thanks very much for dropping in.
Take care, everyone.
Okay. Thanks, Lennox.
We'll see you
Okay, bye.
guys tomorrow.
All right, gentlemen.
All
Catch you
right.
guys
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Marquis.
Thank you.
Take care. Okay,
Bye.
see you, Stace.
Bye.
All right, Vic. Take care.